They're forever on YouTube. So let's be careful. All right, over to you, Toastmaster Ved.
Okay. Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I welcome you all to the 190th meeting of the Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. 119th. We are slowly moving towards the 200. Just imagine, few years ago we started with 0. And with that, the mission of the Toastmaster Club is to provide positive and learning environment in which members are empowered to grow their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and their personal growth. So to run a smooth meeting, we have some housekeeping rules in place. Please keep your phone on silent mode. If you haven't done that, you have 5 seconds to do that. Rule number 2, please keep yourself on mute when you are not talking. It might disturb the speaker or the host. Rule number 3, please please talk responsibly about politics, sex, and religion. With that, moving on to, please help me welcome the presiding officer for the today's meeting, Toastmaster Bob.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ved. So, hi, I'm Bob. I'm from Kathmandu Toastmasters Club, which is based out of Kathmandu, Nepal. Today, I'll be the presiding officer on this meeting. First of all, I'd like to welcome Toastmaster Disha to Bright Beginners Club. Toastmaster Disha, can you just give us a short introduction about yourself?
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Bob. Hi, good morning, everybody. So I would like to give a small, is this the icebreaker speech that I have to start with? Okay.
No, just a small introduction, just
Sorry,
like
bro.
a 30-second introduction on yourself.
Okay. First of all, glad to be the part of the Toastmaster Club. So I'm Disha. I am currently residing in Gurgaon and I work with KPMG. So I had been introduced, as I said last time, I had been introduced to the Toastmasters quite some time back, like 7 or 8 years back, through one of my office colleagues. And then after this quite long, I thought that now it is time to join the Toastmaster Club. And a few weeks back, I got in touch with Prateek. And now, like last time, joining this meeting, now finally I'm here. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. Welcome to Toastmaster Disha. So you're now officially a Toastmaster and you've joined the BBC Club, right?
Yes,
Awesome.
that's right.
So does that take the membership to what, 6 now?
12, 16 or 17.
It feels like 6 or 7.
We want it that way.
Okay. As long as you guys are happy. So yesterday I found out something very interesting. Toastmaster also has I don't know if they officially have a channel on Reddit, but Toastmaster has a Reddit channel. So if anybody is interested to know more about Toastmasters, have some questions or want to get some feedback on Toastmasters, you can always go on Reddit and search for Toastmasters. And there's some very, very interesting topics going on there. A lot of interesting conversations going on in Reddit. With having said that, so I just would like to reiterate the mission of Toastmasters to the group. Let me give me just 1 second to pull that up. The Toastmasters, we at Toastmasters provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So that's the mission of Toastmasters, and hope we all following that mission and trying to make a better version of ourselves every single day. Having said that, I'd like to officially announce the meeting is open and call upon stage Toastmaster Anshuman, the Toastmaster of the day. The stage is all yours.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Bob. And thank you, first of all, for taking up the presiding officer role at the last moment. It's very difficult to do. And again, welcome to this club, Toastmaster Nisha. As Toastmaster Bob was indirectly hinting, mentioning, we are a small but close knit group which assembles every Saturday morning. But we are one of the most warmest, brightest, and best, it's literally in our name, the club out there. And the culture that we have set up, the friendships that we have, I think are unbeatable, unmatchable. And that is definitely a club's USP, as you may realize once you start visiting other clubs and presenting your speeches to all the global clubs feasible. Uh, Today's theme, if you might have already seen, is about intonation and intonation, pronunciation, and speaking activity itself. So at Toastmasters, we always are in the quest to improve our speech skills. So now with International Speech Contest approaching, I was just curious that what is something different I can do. I thought, what is the buzzword in today's day and age? It's a single buzzword, artificial intelligence. I thought to take help of artificial intelligence to figure out what are my gaps, where I can improve, and what can I do better going forward with my speech. And how I typically started was currently not through Bard or Chat GPT, but through a typical Google search itself. So one, I figured out that Toastmaster itself has a speech software which can help us out. How many of us have already tried out Udly? Okay, Mayank, Bob, Neetal. Surprising that Ved hasn't tried out. Ved, you're literally lagging back in there, and Disha is quite new to the Toastmaster fraternity. But Disha, you may want to try it out. I did try out Udly. However, it was giving to me quite a basic feedback, uh, which was already I was getting from the club members itself, through the evaluators, through my peers, through my mentors. I wanted more. So then I figured out there's a speech analysis software available called Elsa, which can help me out. And I'll just like to present my Elsa scores, which were shocking to me. I did share it with Ved, but Ved also did not try it out. So I don't know what's happening with. But this is
Right.
what I hope you're able to see my screen. So what this presents is my speech skills compared to a native speaker. So if I took any international test, for example, IELTS, my score will be 7.5 out of 9, TOEFL 24 out of 30. My score in pronunciation was low. Intonation, fluency, grammar was fine. Vocabulary, I was shocked to see that it was low because I literally built my career using English as a language. And this, I thought this might be a fluke. I tried once more. And as you may see, the scores were quite consistent. Once it may be a fluke, but um, vocabulary 61%. So then I felt that where am I going wrong? What can I do better? Then I asked Elsa herself of what is it something I can do better. So let's see if we go into pronunciation and I go to the details. And for example, look at, so Elsa is saying favorite, I'm not pronouncing correctly. My my favorite food is naan and
Favorite.
shahi paneer right from the beginning. So I was asked to speak about my favorite. I don't know if I hope you're able to listen to the speech, right?
We can.
So
No,
for
not the
example,
speech. We will only listen the word repeat. Favorite.
Basically, what I said was this: favorite and
Favorite.
favorite. So basically, if I look at each of the words, there are a lot of reds out here. When I went into the depth of it, I figured out that there's a difference between my native language, Hindi, and English, which is causing this. Hindi basically is much more flat language, where each of the words are flat. They don't have highs, lows, ups, and downs. But in English, as a language which native speakers speak, have a highs, lows, ups, and downs in each of the word. And that is the difference. That is one of the insights I had not got in Toastmasters for 4 years till date. This was surprising and shocking to me. And what I learned is that if I have to improve my English, I have to get it to the level of native speakers. Then I have to have intonation. That is what the intonation we are talking about. In literally each of the words that is present. We'll talk about how we can get that intonation, what journey I'm part of, and how each one of us can look at focusing on intonation and pronunciation if possible. But before that, I love to let you know about the structure of the meeting. Before I go ahead and do that, we also have a guest joining today. So, Dinesh, welcome to Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Are you new to Toastmasters or are you
Yeah,
already
I'm new. It's
okay?
my first time. Okay.
Amazing. I hope you participate in the table topics, which is a spontaneous speaking platform. And talking about table topics, typical Toastmaster meeting is structured into three sections. One is the prepared speeches section where our newest member, Toastmaster Disha, will be sharing her icebreaker speech. So she'll be breaking the ice with the members, introducing herself. We'll all get to know more about her. Next will be a table topic section where we're going to practice speaking spontaneously, where Toastmaster Neetal, our president, is going to help us out with very interesting topics. I'm sure it'll be a fun session. And last but not the least will be the general evaluator section, where we'll be evaluating each of the work that we are going to do today. And to head that section, we have Toastmaster Mayank, who's going to introduce to us the general evaluation section. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
We often speak and are given scores. Remember those red colored notebooks your teachers gave? Don't worry, that doesn't happen here in Toastmasters. As a general evaluator, my role is to give feedback on all the meeting roles and role players and how the meeting was conducted. To do this, we have speech evaluators where we will have Toastmaster Ved giving a feedback on Toastmaster Disha's speech, and we have AHA counter, general grammarian. Those two roles are going to be played by our team mod Toastmaster Anshuman. So may I request Toastmaster Anshuman to give an introduction on his role?
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Mayank. So, as an R counter, I'll be noting down the filler words and sounds we'll be using in our speeches or the roles we'll be playing. For example, or any awkward pauses. Any such filler word reduce the impact of the speech that we are speaking. So, we have to consciously minimize it and learn different techniques to do that. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Thank you so much. And could you also introduce the word of the day and rules around it?
As a grammarian, as a language evaluator, I'll also be noting down any good phrases, not so good phrases that we'll be using today. And my duty is also to share the word of the day with all of us today. And the word of the day today is quirk. And quirk refers to an unusual habit or way of behaving. For example, one of Mayank's quirk is to type and speak. It can be any Mayank. Mine was to make sure every square of my waffles is buttered evenly before I eat them. I hope you use the word quirk during your Toastmasters session today. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman, for highlighting your role. I will be also playing the role of the timer. So my roles and responsibility includes flashing cards to indicate how much time has passed. You see, like it's like Maggie. You can't undercook it, and if you overcook, it's soggy. So at for a prepared speech section for Toastmaster Disha, who's giving a speech, her icebreaker. At 4 minutes, I'll flash the green card. At 5 minutes, I'll flash the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I'll flash the red card. And you will have 30 seconds to wrap up from there. So at 6 minutes 30 seconds, you should be able to conclude your speech. In a table topic section, the time limit is up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. So at 1 minute, I'll flash the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, the yellow card. At 2 minutes, the red card, and you will all will have 30 seconds to wind up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. In the evaluation section for Toastmaster Way, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, I'll flash the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, the red card. And Toastmaster Ved will have how many seconds to wrap up? 30 seconds to wrap up until then. All right. So I will present my report later around the conclusion of the meeting to let you know about your timing. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Mayank. Now we move forward with the first section of the meeting, which is the prepared speech section. And before I invite Toastmaster Disha to share her speech, I'd like to invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Ved, to share the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Toastmaster Disha is attempting her icebreaker speech, and the purpose of this project for Disha is to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Timer, please note the speech length will be 4 to 6 minutes, and the title of her speech is दिशा पता नहीं तो दिशा बदल गई, दिशा पता नहीं तो दिशा बदल गई. Over to you.
All right. That sounds like an interesting title. Disha, can you please do a quick audio video check so that we all know that?
Okay, I hope I'm audible.
Perfect. All right. So Toastmaster Disha, दिशा बदल गई तो दिशा पता नहीं, दिशा बदल गई तो दिशा पता नहीं, टोस्टमास्टर दिशा.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman, and thank you, Toastmaster Ved. An epitome of love. Oh, the title of my icebreaker speech seems misleading. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about Disha Patani. I'm talking about Taj Mahal, the beautiful monument made of white marbles. Do you know where these white marbles come from? They come from the state that I belong to, Rajasthan, where a small dal bati churma serving town is my birthplace, the small town called Byawar. At the age of 1, from a small town toddler, I became a city baby. Khawanu, pivanu, and majjani life. Yes, my family relocated to Ahmedabad. This city is chill, helpful, and love, which is what I always carry in my heart. My childhood, my education, and even my first job for 7 straight years, all were in this city. It was in 2016 I thought of exploring other cities of the country and took myself to the New York of India called Gurgaon. All the way from the dry state, I had thought of coming to this so-called unsafest place, saying to myself, Disha, pata nahi kya hoga. However, Unlike others, my experience with this city were great. I made a lot of friends and even found a loving family who insisted me to stay with them as a paying guest. But life did not want me to stop here. So 2 years ahead, I land to a city which is known for its pleasant weather as well as the worst traffic. Which city am I talking of? Bangalore. Yeah. So here, staying in a small place called Dodbalapur, because the Raymond's factory was situated here, I used to rush to the 40 kilometers away city every weekend. This is when I met my future husband. We tied a knot just when the COVID had hit, and it was time to come near to the families. We circled back to Gurgaon, which is closer to Ahmedabad, as well as Dehradun, my husband's hometown. Once a shy and simple girl roamed across the cities of India as well as New York all alone to alter her course and transform from Disha Pata Nahi to Disha Badal Gayi. Thank you.
As is the tradition, request us all to stand up and give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Disha. Woohoo.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Toastmaster Disha, you already. I don't think आपका दिशा पता नहीं था. You had your दिशा very clear, and you had your दिशा very clear with your icebreaker speech. I think my icebreaker speech was 29, like was not that long, but with the kind of confidence and the kind of charm you exuded while giving the speech, it was exemplary.
Thank you so much. It was all because of Toastmaster Mayank's push
Wow,
and help.
that's a great mentorship, Toastmaster Mayank. Yeah, he keeps on pushing all of us to excel and keep the flag of the club flying high. And talking about keeping the flag of the club flying high, high, um, I have to keep my own speeches off to an optimal level. As I shared, off late, my speech started to flatten out. It still might be, and I need to really improve my speeches. So I have to figure out what to do about it. And to do that, I'll also take a 30-second pause. Request us all to take 30-second, 1 minute to give feedback to Toastmaster Disha before we proceed. All right. I hope all of us have given feedback to Toastmaster Disha. Uh, all right. Moving forward, when I researched on intonation, speech, how I can do things better, I went to the most typical of places. One is YouTube, another is Instagram, and I figured out quite interesting reels about how I can improve my speeches. So I like to show you one of them, which was quite interesting.
How does he do it? There is actually a way. One thing he does really well is he emphasizes the right syllable within the word to give it maximum power. Listen to him say this sentence and pay attention to the emphasis that he gives within the words.
So when it comes to pleasure, most youngsters nowadays prefer looking at a screen, their mobile phone or laptop, PlayStation or Nintendo.
He didn't say pleasure equally or prefer equally or Nintendo equally. What he did is he said pleasure. prefer, and Nintendo, each having their own syllable stress or emphasis within the word. Syllable stress can be difficult for people from India speaking English because your first languages have a different rhythmic structure to English. But don't worry, I can teach you how to sound a little bit more like Shashi Tharoor.
All right, I think we got the gist of it. That our native language is mostly a flat language or musical language, but not much of an intonated language. So right now, when I'm speaking, I am also speaking mostly in the Hindi style of speaking, but I have to go the English route. I may have to look at different kind of emphasis within the word, outside the word, look at pacing, look at tonality, and that is the quest I am on. And I hope through this Haryani is challenging because Haryani, Haryanvi, I'm presuming. uh, I agree. Different dialects, different languages are challenging because of intonation. And when actors perform different languages on the screen, I think that they have one of the biggest challenges to perform different languages. And the one who's able to master sound, start sounding more like natives, and to practice and start sounding more like natives, we have Toastmaster Neetal today to take forward the table topic section where she'll be giving us different topics to practice our spontaneous speaking upon. So over to you, Toastmaster Neetal, to take the session forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. It's interesting to understand how our basic language, our native language impacts our speaking skills. So with this, we will have our impromptu speaking practice with table topics. So I'll be giving a topic and you have to speak as per the timer instructions, 2 and 2.5 minutes, and try to utilize the maximum time slot that is allotted to you so that you improve your impromptu speaking skills. So with this, we'll begin our table topics for day. So anyone who want to nominate, or shall I call it out? Okay. Toastmaster Bob.
Yes.
Do you watch Bollywood movies?
No.
Hollywood?
One of my quirks. Yeah, not at all.
You don't watch movies at all?
I watch movies, very particular movies, usually Hollywood.
So if you could step into the shoes of any of your favorite character or an actor, who would be it, and what would you do differently? Toastmaster Bob, if you can step into a character of any Hollywood or Bollywood character for a day, who would be it and why? Or what would you do differently?
Not necessarily do differently, but has any of you watched House MD? So watch that. It's an amazing show, and I think it's on Netflix or maybe on Amazon Prime. Watch House MD. So this is, and when you're talking about actors speaking different language, so this is Hugh Laurie, who is the main character in the show, and he's a British who is basically portraying an American doctor, and he's one of those quirkiest person that you'd ever meet on television. He is so he's able to read people beautifully and create situations which which basically is an advantage for him. He's a complete jackass. Like you'd love to hate his character as you watch the show. And and yes, so just the character and the way he portrays it is beautiful, and you get to learn a lot about people and their insights. It's a psychological drama, has its funny moments, and it's altogether an amazing show. So if you none of you have, and I'm surprised that none of you have actually watched it, do go online and look for it, and Watch it. House MD. Beautiful. So that's the character I'd like to get into the shoes of and be him for a day, probably, if I ever can. Thank you, Neetal. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bob. So yes, you gave a weekend task for me. I'll definitely watch it. So with this, we'll go for our. I guess Vidhu is connecting to audio. Is Vidhu there? Toastmaster Vidhu? Okay.
Hi, Neetal. Yeah, Toastmaster Neetal. Yes, I'm here.
Which Toastmaster with the topic for you is which Bollywood movie or any movie do you think deserves a sequel and what storyline would you like to see in it? Toastmaster Vidhu, which Bollywood movie do you think deserves a sequel and what storyline would you like to see in it?
Okay. Interesting topic, Toastmaster Neetal. Um, so
Do you watch movies?
I do watch, but I'm just thinking what will make more sense. Because usually movies end with a very happy ending in Bollywood. So I'm just thinking of those movies which I find were incomplete. Uh, so maybe a sequel of Jab We Met, where the real problems start post getting into the trap of commitment. So I think a sequel of Jab We Met, because a lot of or maybe DDLJ, because a lot of people in India are inspired by those movies, and it really makes more sense to have another sequel to showcase the mix of both the other side of the story as well, not in a negative way, but to give an overall perspective to the youngsters. Right. So I think that should be there could be like a possible sequel that I can think of. Over to you, Toastmaster Neetal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu. Interesting. Yes, definitely. We should know the second part of the life in those movies, what happens next. So I would like to call Toastmaster Ved.
Yes, yeah, hi, Mila.
So if you could, which was your favorite scene of any movie and that you would recommend us to watch it? Which scene of a movie do you think
Uh,
represents?
okay. So then, if you ask me which scene I would recommend from the movie, actually I don't have a particular scene, but I have a complete movie. So whenever I have a different genre that I try to watch movies, where usually we watch movies when scene changes a lot. There, what happens is your attention also like gets divided because you also watch scene, you also watch the scenery behind it. There are a lot of people, but there are particular set of movies which only happens within just one frame, and those kinds of movie that have a lot of depth in their dialogues, a lot of depth in content as well. And one such movie that I have come across is that the movie name is The Man from the Earth, and there are various scenes which I find like really good, which people could watch the whole movie. So I do not want to spoil the movie, but it's a good movie that everybody can watch if they like some depth movies. And so yeah, that's it.
Sorry, what was the movie name?
The Man from the Earth.
Man from the Earth. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
next week is also blocked, huh?
Huh? Sorry?
That was
Yeah. Okay. So I would like to call upon Dinesh, guest Dinesh.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite movie and why?
Actually, I love to see the comedy movies. So recently, I have again seen the like Hera Fairy movie. So that movie, it's very good for me to watch again and again to see their like characters of each and every and their backgrounds, how they belong to each person. Like if you call Akshay Kumar and Sunil Shetty, they have a different background, but they want to be a in they want to become go into a higher position. So what they are struggling in that, we have to sense in that matter also. We are just seeing that yes, they are struggling, but people are laughing on that. That thing I would like to. That's good for me watching. And yes, in that scene, I have seen many different roles. Like if you see one role when Sunil Shetty and all three are going to have some to take the money from what we call, sorry, to take the money from to give the money to kidnapper and take it from like little daughter's father. In that case, okay, no issue. Thank you.
Go ahead. Continue. You have time.
Yeah. In that case, when Om Puri came and say that hey, you are like looking like in the same dress. So he said that you are Judwa. No, we are Tudwa. Like we are three in the same. So that's the some things that yes, I would like to interact and see that.
Thank you, guest Dinesh. Yes, I did watch Hera Fairy too, and it's a wonderful movie to watch. Keep watching it whenever you feel it on. Good laughter for a short span of time.
Yes, yes.
So, Toastmaster Mike,
Okay.
a topic for you. If you can choose a Bollywood actor as your mentor, who would it be and why? If you can choose a Bollywood actor as your mentor, who would it be and why?
Well, in Bollywood, there are many characters. But what is interesting is people who change and adapt to the role every time. You see, you can't be an angry young man all the time. And at the moment, I think some of the fantastic characters that I've seen are, say, Farhan Akhtar, who fine tuned his body for Bhag Milka Bhag, or say Vicky Kaushal, who did Sam Bahadur. I really loved how he's transformed his body and that posture and that style and all of that. I'm sure it's not him who alone does it, and he has a whole team of physiotherapists and bodybuilders and dietitians who transform the characters. But I think overall, a mentor is somebody who's already walked the talk and has done it in his life and excelled. And I think uh, uh, Amitabh Bachchan is one of those characters who went to from initial rejections, he made a comeback, and then he went deep down with ABCL Corporation, and then again rose back to the stars and the glory and their admiration. I think I really find that person to be a mentor because people of this caliber and expertise really help. I'm sorry, I forgot to put on the timer for myself, but that's okay. So, people with this kind of expertise and experiences are really able to talk about the things that you should not do or not venture into that can lead to a pitfall, right? For example, let us say somebody was to talk about Shah Rukh Khan. He's always been high, right? He's never seen that downfall, so he can't predict that what you should not do or how should you averse yourself from such situations and how to not get into it, right? Those are the lessons that are important, right? Yeah, but I really like and admire Amitabh Bachchan, Vicky Kaushal, these two guys, and would really love to have them as my mentor. Thank you, and back to you, Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mike. Yes, we can learn a lot from how they act, how they transform from one movie to another, and can showcase themselves as a different character altogether without having a resemblance to the other movie they have acted before. So, Toastmaster Disha, do you watch Bollywood movies or movies?
Yes, I do.
So, if you given a chance to change an ending of a movie, which would it be and why? If you're given a chance of changing an ending of a movie, what would be and why?
Yeah. I am thinking of the
There are so
movie.
many bad movies.
I am just thinking that which was the last Bollywood movie I had watched. I am
Okay, I'll give you a different topic.
okay.
So, how do you see the impact of movies on society? How do you see the impact of movies on society?
So I think that movies do have a great impact on society. And indeed, this is what I was thinking of, last week when I came across the reviews of the movie called Animal. So, this particular movie, I haven't watched it myself, but I have got a very mixed kind of reviews about the movie. And I'm really not sure what is there in the movie, but still, the kind of reviews that I've got are extreme. And some people have really liked it. There's something related to father son relationship and some kind of violence around it. So some people have really liked it and some haven't. So I was going through this interview of Ranbir Kapoor where he has said that this particular movie, it's not that just the men have liked it a lot. There is a a kind of section of women who has also liked it. So, but then he said that it is up to the society, how do they take it? And then, until and unless the filmmakers bring the issues of the society in terms of movies, uh, you know, it is up to the filmmakers that how they portray the reality of society, and then ultimately society consumes it. So, the way, I mean, it is very important for the filmmakers to address the societal issues through their movies, and they should not restrict themselves you know with the kind of reviews that they generally get. So yeah, I mean, the impact of movies on society is huge, though they reflect what is happening in the society itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Disha. Yes, definitely movies have a greater impact. So if there is a patriotic movie, the impact is different compared to a movie like Animal. So now we are left with our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anshuman.
You can skip me if you want to, Smasanita.
We have time.
Speaking a lot today.
You have time. So do use your accent.
Accent?
And yeah.
I am learning
So,
that accent.
so do you like Bollywood movies?
Yeah, I love Bollywood.
So
Love
tell me, so what are unique things about Bollywood movies as compared to Hollywood movies? What what are unique things about Bollywood movies as compared to Hollywood movies? Toastmaster Anshuman.
I and all of us have grown around the Bollywood movies. Something we love and something we really hate about Bollywood movies is the storyline, is the dancing around the teas, not the teas, the trees, and is all the songs and hoopla around the songs. Those are the ones which make it really relatable, which make it really lovable. But those are the ones which make us think that is it reflecting India's culture badly or not in the best light we want to present to the Western world. I think that is a dichotomy we have been living with since childhood, and that is something which cannot be resolved. Is it something that we should stick to? Is it something we should adapt to? For example, the recent movie RRR, not a Bollywood movie, a Tollywood movie, but reflective of the Indian culture, was really appreciated by the Western audience. And it had all the typical masala which a Bollywood movie has. Still, it was a rage in the West. What went right? What did not go right? Should we even be viewing our movies from the Western lens? Maybe yes, maybe not. With a globalized society where everything is flattening out, there is always a quest to make our movies relatable to the global audience. On the other hand, it's important for a movie to cater to the local audience and delight the local audience itself, which is me or any one of us. So, to me, definitely, what the part I love about Bollywood movies is the stories, is the songs, are the emotions. At the same time, it makes me think, is it making us reflect best in the global world? That's an open question. Over to you, Toastmaster Neethal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Definitely, Bollywood offers a different style, different features, which is missing in Hollywood movies. But yeah, the storyline changes the game of all the movies. So with this, we'll conclude Toastmasters table topic master for today, and we'll hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Neethal, for brightening up our morning with Bollywood movies. Now is the testing time. Who will like to be the guinea pig to test out their intonation, their pronunciation? Okay, Toastmaster Neethal, Toastmaster Bob, anyone else? Toastmaster Ved. Let's see how much time we have. We'll start one by one. Let me quickly present my screen.
We have about 20 minutes that we have invest.
Sorry.
We have about 20 minutes to invest.
Got it. Fair. All right. We'll start with you, Toastmaster Neethal. And before I start, Toastmaster is a safe platform. It's a family where we are in the quest to improve. And the first part to improve is definitely analysis. So these are not test reports, these are not any kind of judgment on anyone. This is just a baseline we may want to work with to see what we can do in our future speeches or Toastmaster Day environment to make ourselves better. So, just a disclaimer. All right. Are you ready, Toastmaster Neethal?
Yes. Yep.
Maybe I'll give you a table topic. That'll be handy.
Okay.
I'll give
Or
you
I
a
can
table
read some
topic.
text. Some text. Okay, fine. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Toastmaster Neethal, let me give you a. Let me present you first. Well, not required, I guess. Toastmaster Neethal, which is your favorite movie?
So back in the days, there was a movie called Check the India, which reflected how an woman empowerment can change the life. I mean, the history of the sports. So Chak De India was one of my favorite movie. I was going through ups and downs of writing CA exam. My mood was upset. Then the movie was released, so I kept my books aside and went and watched the movie. And it cheered me up. It gave a motivation. So the movie starts with how a different team players from different states of India come together and then form a team to play hockey in the World Championship. So the movie had a different notes, different ideas behind every player, different storyline, how they have come up to the stage to play a national game, how they have overcome the emotional background of their family, how they have come over the financial background of their family and left everything to play the game. And when they played the game, they were having differences among themselves, but they fought together. They fought within themselves and then they made a movie out of it. So that was one of my favorite movie. Thank you, Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Needle. Let's see what Elsa has to say about your speech today. It takes 30 seconds or a minute to process. What do you
It's
think, Toastmaster?
ELSA, right?
Sorry,
It's ELSA, right, Elsa?
it's ELSA.
Okay.
Um, I think its mobile version is has a lesser subscription price than the um, online version. So just in case if we are thinking of purchasing, my suggestion will be to look at the mobile version, not the online version. All right, I think we have the result. It's 77% Toastmaster Neethal. All right, let's see.
That's a good one.
So it's saying your fluency is 90%, grammar is 90%, vocabulary 79%, intonation 78%. I think a typical culprit for all of us is our pronunciation, which is saying it's 50%. And as most probably we can predict the, for example, we can look at
Which.
which, which, and I think Hindi has a flat intonation, which. It's not which is for English native speakers, which is WITCH. For us, every word is flat. Um, uh, that is what it is.
Yeah.
And we can use different. So, high five, Toastmaster Neetan. We are in same pronunciation club. And the rest of it, I think, thanks to you being a CA and Toastmasters. Um, so, intonation basically refers to the highs and the lows. This also gives a good, for example, here were these are the words where you went high, but these like the red ones are the ones where potentially you can have a higher word tone, and that's the analysis that's available. I'll
Nice
just give you
giving big
I'll
speech.
just give you just give us a high level overview. We don't have time to go into details, but please feel free to explore yourself. I think half an hour of content is free. Rest is subscribed. What's it suggesting is 130 to 190 range of speaking. So yours was 170, which is 74, which is quite high. Ideal range would be 130 to 150, 150. So you may want to slow down your speech, but still it's close to the native speakers. Grammar was quite good. Chat GPT may also give recommendations. And vocabulary, I think it's an ongoing process for all of us. So this was your analysis. Thank you,
That's
Toastmaster
a good
Nathan.
one.
Anyone? How much time do we have, Toastmaster man? Can we take one more, two more?
We'll take
We can
Toastmasters
take up
Mike.
to we can take up to two more.
We'll
Two
take
more.
Toastmasters Mike.
Toastmaster Mayank did not raise his hand, I guess. So
But let's take him.
Toastmaster Bob did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not putting anyone consciously on spotlight on for this. This is not a table topic, but Toastmaster Bob, will you like to go next? All right, and Toastmaster Neither any table topic remaining for Toastmaster Bob. You're on mute.
Yeah, sure. If you had nothing to do today, what would you do today? Toastmaster Bob, if you had nothing to do today, what would you do today?
Thing to do today, I'd be probably attending BBC's Toastmaster Club meeting, and that's pretty much what I end up doing in most of the time when I'm not doing anything. But at the same time, I like spending time with my wife, with my kids, just relaxing, sitting back, not watching movies, watching shows on YouTube or Netflix. And that's about what I love doing when I'm not doing anything. I used to collect stamps. I was I did that quite religiously for a while, and then I was into reading books until I figured out that one book after another has contradicting views. So I stopped reading all of them. Right now, most of the time, what I do, actually, I've become one of those mobile people. I've always been like also scrolling through mobile and going through that YouTube videos and TikTok and Instagram. That's something I'd like to get out of as soon as possible. Yeah, that's about it. Back to you, Toastmaster Neetal and Anshul.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Bob. Let's see what Elsa has to say. Again, there might be some interruption or sound distortions which may affect the results, but overall, let's see. Like as per my understanding, I think you have a bit of an international accent, maybe of your exposure or being there internationally, literally. Uh,
Yes. No,
so
I'm looking at the pricing. It's not that bad. I mean, we should be as a club we can buy it, or if everybody pulls in the money together. It's a pretty nifty tool.
yeah, is this for you? Let me confirm. Yeah, this is you. Okay. Um, surprising. Let us see the details.
What I
What I
doing in
doing.
I don't know if you were able to understand the difference. The emphasis is on
yes,
inclination each a word. I'm not an expert, so I'm trying to understand from Elsa herself that why pronunciation or intonation might be the range. But if we literally go into details, we get to know, for
doing
example,
in
doing in, and according to the native speakers,
Doing.
But
doing.
it should
Yeah,
not be like through a sentence instead of one single word. Like
sorry.
how Elsa, I mean, a sentence or group of words, how Elsa would read and how we are, or how Bob has presented.
As per my understanding, there are two elements. One is pronunciation, one is intonation. So
Okay.
intonation is basically the flow ups and downs within a sentence. So for example, as you can see, the bold one should ideally be on the higher end in terms of volume, and the red ones are the ones which ideally, according to Elsa, should have been on the higher note, but are on the lower note for. Okay, you incorrectly emphasize this word. Say it softly next time. So according, that's a suggestion from her. But pronunciation is something within the word.
Okay.
setting. No,
Sitting.
but you'd be surprised as a lot of the native speakers will score very low on this.
Okay, why
We
so?
because we as Indian speakers of English have we tend to be more grammatically correct, and we tend to be more careful of how we pronounce the words than the Americans do or the Britishers do.
Possibly.
So
Yeah, like I
the
think
average Joe, the language is really really bad. It's
possibly.
the upper educated, the Harvard graduates and those in very professional jobs. They tend to take care of their language, not the average Americans.
Agree, possibly. And Toastmaster is an American organization and is the most popular in America. So definitely there's a huge need for improving speaking and speech skills. Um, though I had once an opportunity to visit the Toastmaster club in US in Texas. Mostly they were non-Americans attending that club who were wanting to get closer to the natives. So, but anyhow, think we are out of time, but I hope this was a good and productive activity for all of us. I'd like to
Yes.
hand over the stage to Toastmaster Mang to take it away.
All right, so now we hit the evaluation section, often called the breakfast for Toastmasters. It's gonna be mid lunch time, so that's fine. Heavy on a Sunday, I would have said, all right, it's brunch time. Okay, so now we move on to Toastmaster Ved, who's going to give an evaluation on the icebreaker speech given by Toastmaster Disha. Over to you, Toastmaster Ved.
Thanks, General Evaluator. Congratulations, Toastmaster Disha, for completing your icebreaker speech. Kudos for completing that. One of the best thing I liked about your speech was your confidence. It was really amazing, given it was your first speech. If I remember correctly, my first speech, uh, I was sweating, my legs were trembling, and I was just trying to uh, get as soon as it finished. So very well done on that. Let's talk about more other parts of the speech. If I talk about the content part, you had very good content. The speech was very well structured. I liked the good vocabulary throughout the speech. So, great job on that. Other thing I liked about the content part is speech had good transition. Like I remember very vividly from hometown on Byawar to Ahmedabad, then Gurgaon, then Bangalore, then come back to Gurgaon. So city was the element which was guiding the audience in your speech. I also like dal bati churma reference, majama. So these are the certain elements which really charm up the speech. Let's talk about the recommendation part. One of the easiest thing that you could do is leverage your hand gesture. You're using your face gesture, but it felt like your hands were not coming up at all. So maybe like you just have to be bit of conscious and try using your hands as well. And if you think if you want to take your speech to another level, that what you could do is uh, focus on improving your speech conclusion. Try to give the gist of the speech, guide the audience to the ending of the speech. So that will take your speech to the next level. Now we let's talk about the delivery part. I highlighted that the confidence was great in your speech, even it was your icebreaker speech. Another thing I liked about is your eye contact. Your camera was very well placed. So throughout the speech, it looked like you are directly looking at the audience. So great job on that. Summarizing the whole evaluation, you had a very good structured speech, good vocabulary, good transition, uh, good eye contact, the confidence part. The things that you want to improve upon is that leverage your hand gesture. And if you want to take your speech to the next level, maybe work on the conclusion part of it. Uh, all the best for your next speeches. And thanks. That's my evaluation. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ved, for that feedback and evaluation. And I'm sure, Toastmaster Disha, you will take that positively um, and implement those. Now we move on to Toastmaster Anshuman, who will help us with the R counter and the Grimerian report. Toastmaster Anshuman, please.
Thanks a lot to Toastmaster Mang, starting with the Grammarian report. Certain good usages that I noted today include change and adapt, embracing the growth, to be inspired, worst thing that can happen, and the not so good usages which can be improved upon are thank you. Firstly, can be thank you. Given it today could have been given today, and pronunciation wasn't could have been was not in that context. The word of the day quirk wasn't even used once, but I hope we used We use the word. Okay, Toastmaster Bob used it once. I twice, thrice. I did not notice, but thank you for using it, Toastmaster Bob. I'll trust your honesty. I hope we use that word quirk in our daily lives as much as possible. Moving on to the R counter report, I'll be sharing the report in terms of categorization, which I felt for the day. Starting with the speaker, Toastmaster Disha, your speech mostly relatively in terms of R counts was relatively flawless with just 1 hour, one Coming to your table topic, I think first table topic there was a long pause, then switched to a new topic, where also there was a bigger pause. But when you started speaking, I think the filler words were on the lesser side, so kudos there. In terms of other table topics for Toastmaster Bob, Toastmaster Neetal, Toastmaster Ved, um, Vidhu, and Toastmaster Vidhu, Toastmaster Mayank, the filler words were on the lesser side. No prominent gaps or filler words which may impact the flow of your speech. Toastmaster Dinesh, it was your first attempt. I think you did much better than I did in my first table topic. You had a few hours and few ums, but with practice, you will be right up there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And in terms of role players, Toastmaster Mayank's general evaluation was on the lower side in terms of Azams and Yunos. Toastmaster Ved had awkward pauses in his evaluation. Besides that, all key elements were covered well. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman, for that detailed evaluation on the R counter and the Grammarian report. I would like to now present summary of my general evaluation on this meeting. So the meeting started on time. I saw on social media that the meeting poster was released and the role players were well sorted. A new member addition to the club was welcomed by the presiding officer, Toastmaster Bob. In the Tmod section, Toastmaster Anshuman, you shared, talked about new tools. Elsa gave live example of the qualitative functions, and what's great about it. In fact, you leverage the topic to let people try hands-on and see for themselves the effectiveness of this tool. You could have also, of course, a paucity of time is one, but introduced Udly as a tool first to Toastmasters because that's the Toastmasters platform, and then maybe compare that. Okay, this is additional if you want to go advanced level, because there are certain items which Udly will also help you, but some, of course, the tool items that you talked about resonated well with the meeting theme, and I think the tool was targeted around that aspect. But on general speaking, the utility tool could also have been leveraged to demonstrate. You also brought in the meeting sequence when a guest had joined, so commendable on that. So it was easier for a guest to relate. How the meeting flow of the meeting is. The word of the day, quirk, was also introduced. I felt maybe a few of us used the word quirky and not quirk, but yeah, I think Toastmaster Bob said he spoke 3 times. On to table topics. Toastmaster Neetal, as a toast table topic master, you should abstain from speaking in between when a speaker is, given a topic and explained, the topic. This topic has to be repeated 2 times, and it is for the member to hear it for the first time and confirm the second time, right? And speak whatever comes to their mind. It's not always has to be served on a platter that if a person is unable to speak, you change the topic. Let them speak, let them think. You have to give them testing times, right? But yeah, I'm sure that as Toastmaster Disha was new, you wanted to support her, so that's a great gesture but do not repeat it. Do this kind of situation for any other Toastmaster. That's a topic you have to speak. Your choice or don't. I will also recommend some of the role players to bring in more energy when talking about their topic. If it's like, all right, so today I'm gonna give you a general evaluator, it just brings the mood of the whole meeting down. So get in that enthusiasm, as if you were sitting in a physical meeting and ready to pound and unleash your energy. Uh, on Toastmaster Disha, on your speech, there's so many things that you could have added and talked about, in terms of your NIFT, your MBA, working with major brands and with consultancy, and the club would have been able to know you more. Another recommendation for you, I believe, is when you're using phrases which are in non-English language, translate them. It will give a better impact to the people who are listening to you. For example, when you talk about dal bati, people from North India or who have experienced it understand it, but maybe somebody is from a different territory, he may not understand it well, right? So you can say dumplings of wheat with some lentils and some majama and everything. The words that you said in Gujarati, I can catch a few, but I don't know all of them. So I really could not understand at what all aspects were you talking about. So translate them in English, and it will give you a better impact if you've said anything in the local flavor and the dialect. Coming on to that timer report, so on the tabletop, on the prepared speech, Toastmasters Disha, you spoke for only 3 minutes 22 seconds. You had another 3 minutes to talk about your life and journey. On table topics, Toastmaster Bob, you spoke for 1 minute 48 seconds. Toastmaster Vidu for 1 minute 15 seconds. Toastmaster Ved for 1 minute 8 seconds. You both, Vidu and Toastmaster Ved, you had an opportunity to speak for at least another a minute, right? To be Toastmaster Deepak, you spoke for 2 minutes 17 seconds. Commendable on that. I couldn't time myself, and Toastmaster Disha spoke for nearly 2 minutes, and Toastmaster Chuman for 2 minutes 14 seconds. Overall, I really enjoyed the meeting. The meeting started well on time, and we are ending within our time limit to take the role forward. I hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anshuman, to conclude.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Meng, and thanks a lot, everyone, for joining on a Saturday morning to learn and be intrigued about, hopefully, about pronunciation, intonation, and speaking more like native speakers. It's the goal actually is not to speak like native speakers, but to communicate. And a communication reaches the audience if the audience is listening to you, and different kinds of audience, different categories of audience will listen to you if you are more similar to them. So to appeal to a global audience, the more globally attuned our language can be, the better it is, but it's not required. Just a disclaimer, it's not required. But if we want to evolve, if we want to appeal to a global audience, if we want to appeal to native speakers, it makes it flawless. For example, if you speak to someone from Europe and who do not, for example, Spanish or French people, their English might be more broken than ours. And if you listen to them, we ourselves might have hesitancy of listening to them for a long run, and so it's not like our English is a judgment of our character or our status. It's just a way to communicate. And English, being the international language it is today, the more global we make it, the more relevant we make it, is a tool, is a handy tool. But again, a disclaimer, not necessary. If it's a goal we are pursuing, we should definitely pursue and become better speakers, the best version of ourselves. So hopefully you had some insights, and we'll continue to practice in our beloved Toastmaster meetings. I do not see Toastmaster Bob on his seat today, so I see him again. So I like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Bob, who joined for the entire meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster Bob, to conclude the proceedings for the day.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. And Shikha is still listing out my quirks. So once that's done, I will share my quirky habits with you guys. That probably would be a 5 to 7 minute speech next time I have to give a speech. All in all, an amazing day. Very glad that I actually attended this meeting. And thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman, for talking to us about the different ways that we speak, and also highlighting the fact that the idea is to communicate and communicate effectively rather than speaking effectively. So with that thought and with that mission, I'd like to conclude the meeting for today, hoping to see all of you again next week for another enjoyable